welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. I'm excited about today's video. I have literally gotten hundreds of questions about what protein powder am I going to be using, or powders, since I've made a clean approach to WW. So that prompted me to do a lot of research, and we're talking hours and hours of research, going to the store, looking at all the protein powders, looking at the ingredients, calculating the smart points, all the things to try to figure out what the best and the worst protein powders are as far as ingredients go on the market. So again, I spent a lot of time doing this. It was very eye-opening for me. Some of my favorite protein powders fell towards the bottom of the list where the worst protein powders were found. So that was a little bit disappointing, but also very eye-opening. So I'm here today to share with you the best all the way down to the worst when it comes to protein powders. And this is ingredients only. So this is where the ingredients that make up the protein powder will categorize them into the best all the way down to the absolute worst protein powder. Speaking of protein powder, I just finished jazzercise, so I'm working on my protein shake right now. So let's jump into the best to the worst protein powders.
On the run from my given disaster, speed away from the holy mind.
So again, we are going to start with the best protein powder on the market. Now, I want to preface this with the fact that I obviously didn't go through every single solitary protein powder on the market. I went to several stores, Costco, and even went to some of the protein powders that are sold online, and I looked at the ingredient label. So based on the 32 protein powders that I looked at, I ranked them best to worst as far as ingredients go. So we're gonna start with the best protein powder on the market. And the number one best protein powder that I found on the market is the Nutiva hemp seed protein powder. This protein powder costs $16. It has 15 grams of protein. One scoop is going to cost you 1 smart point. There are no additives. It's non-GMO, vegan, and literally it is made with one ingredient, and that is organic hemp seed. So you can't get any cleaner than that. Literally one ingredient in this protein powder, and you can't beat 1 scoop for 1 smart point. Number 2 is one that I've actually never seen before, and this is the Aloha Organic Vanilla Protein. This protein powder is about $25, 18 grams of protein in 2 scoops, and 2 scoops is 3 smart points. There is no artificial anything, 13 real ingredients. It's plant-based, no stevia, soy, or dairy, and it's non-GMO as well. It is also kosher, and it only has 13 ingredients, which are all good, whole, clean ingredients. So highly recommend. Again, I'd never heard of this before, so I'm actually really excited to give this protein powder a try myself. So starting with protein number 3, we're getting into proteins that have maybe 1 or 2, and some of them a lot of not the most desirable ingredients. It's very unfortunate that I was only able to find those 2 proteins that were full of real clean ingredients. So we're gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate, and we're gonna go from the best of the worst to the worst of the worst. So protein number 3 is one that I actually purchased myself based on the recommendations of a clean eating YouTuber that I follow, and that is the Less Naked Whey in vanilla. Now, I really like this protein powder. It is really delicious. So let's go over some of the information about the Less Naked Whey in the flavor of vanilla. So it is about $22 on Amazon. I'll link it down below for you guys. 25 grams of protein, 1 scoop is going to cost you 3 smart points. So it is 100% grass-fed, which I love. There's no hormones, no soy, no GMO, no gluten, and they cold pressed the protein powder instead of processing it at a high heat. Now, anytime you process anything at a high heat, it's not the most desirable. You're better off doing a cold press. Similar to oils, you always want to look for an expeller pressed oil because that means it's cold pressed versus processed with heat and chemicals. I also love that this protein powder has 6 grams of BCAAs, which is amazing. That's actually what I drink in my Beyond Raw. I'll put a picture of that for you guys, but that's what I drink after I work out because it helps with recovery. So I love that this protein powder actually has 6 grams of BCAAs. And what I love the most about this protein powder is the sweetener is organic coconut sugar. Now, this is the best sugar you can possibly buy. We talked a lot about this in my sugars video. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link that down below. Lots of great information in that video. But organic coconut sugar is the best of the best, and this protein powder is sweetened with that. Now, the one ingredient in this protein powder that made it drop to number 3 on my list was that it contains natural vanilla flavor. Now, I've talked about natural flavors a lot on my channel, but I kind of want to visit it really quickly. Natural flavors means artificial flavors. So when you see natural flavor on a label, you're not getting natural anything. It is literally chemical artificial flavors. So just remember that when you're looking over at your ingredient labels, that natural flavor means artificial flavor. Now, when it comes to foods or protein powders, I would much rather see natural flavor than a lot of the other not so good ingredients that we'll go over a little bit later in this video. So that is number 3 on the best protein powders. Number 4 is the Growing Naturals Pea Protein. Before I give you the specifics on this, back to natural flavors a little bit, just so you guys know, whenever a protein powder is flavored, generally it is going to have natural flavors. It's very rare that you're going to find a protein powder that's flavored vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, that doesn't contain natural flavors. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this list. So let's talk about this protein powder. This falls as number 4 because it is $18, 15 grams of protein. 1 scoop is going to cost you 1 smart point. It is raw, non-GMO, kosher, and again, they use coconut sugar as their sweetener, which is absolutely amazing. The only thing that I don't like is it has natural chocolate flavor. So again, because it's a flavored protein, we're finding natural flavor. But you know what? If that's the only thing that's questionable, I'll take it. Number 5 is the Garden of Life Raw Organic Sprouted Meal. Now, when you think raw, organic, sprouted, you're thinking, holy moly, this protein powder is top notch. Yeah, it's pretty darn good. It falls as number 5. This protein powder is going to cost you about $45, so it's a little on the expensive side. 1 scoop is 2 smart points and will give you 20 grams of protein. It is clean from legumes, seeds, grains, and contains all sprouted ingredients, which is amazing. As you know, I love sprouted bread because it's just more in its natural state. So I really like that about this protein powder. Now, again, the only questionable ingredient is it contains organic vanilla flavor. And here's a caveat. Even though it's organic, doesn't mean that because it has vanilla flavoring that it's natural. It is still artificial flavor. It's just organic. Number 6 is from the same company as number 5, and that is the Garden of Life Organic Protein. So this isn't raw and sprouted. This is just their general organic protein. I took a look at the chocolate flavor of this protein. This is going to cost you about $30. It is 20 grams of protein, and 1 scoop is going to cost you 2 smart points. Again, it is clean from seeds, legumes, and grains. There are 2 ingredients in this protein powder that I'm not that excited about. Number 1 is it has natural flavor, but number 2, it contains erythritol. Luckily, the amount of erythritol in this protein powder is so minimal that it actually shows 0 on the nutritional label. So that made it kind of bump to number 6 over some of the other protein powders. Even though I don't like that it contains erythritol, it's such a trace amount that they don't even have to list it on the nutritional label. Number 7 is a protein that I know a lot of you are going to be familiar with, and this is the Vega Sport Protein. I went ahead and looked at the vanilla flavor of this protein. What I like about this protein is it has 30 grams of protein in 1 scoop, and 1 scoop is only 2 smart points. It is about $45. It is plant-based. It has 5 grams of BCAA. It's gluten-free, non-GMO, vegan, and organic. So all of that I love about this protein powder. And again, the one thing that's on the ingredient label that I'm not so excited about is that it also contains natural flavor to make it vanilla. But again, all of the 7 that we just talked about, worst case is it has some natural flavor, which again is better than a lot of the ingredients we're going to be talking about in some of these other protein powders. Number 8 is from the same company as number 7, and this is just the Vega Vanilla Protein. So this is just their standard Vega brand of vanilla protein. This is going to cost you $25. There is 20 grams of protein in a scoop, and each scoop is going to cost you 2 Smart Points. It is plant-based and organic, and again, the only ingredient I don't love is natural flavors. So that is number 8 on the list. Number 9 was a protein powder I've never heard of before. It is called Chem, and it is a sugar-free whey protein, and I took a good hard look at the chocolate flavor of this protein. This protein is about $22, so it's reasonable. 20 grams of protein in 1 scoop, and 1 scoop is going to cost you 1 Smart Point. It is non-GMO. There are no artificial hormones. It is 99% lactate free, so that is what causes stomach issues in people that struggle with milk products. And what I love most about this is it is made from grass-fed cows. So that is amazing. I love that about this protein powder. What I don't love is that it also contains natural flavors. So you're seeing a pattern. So starting with about protein powder number 3 to where we are right now, we're really seeing the only questionable ingredient being natural flavors. It's still not something you want to see in a nutritional label, but it's certainly better than a lot of the other ingredients. So take note that we've seen a lot of natural flavors, and that's what made these not in those top spots on our ranking. Number 10 is a brand I've never heard of either, and this was Purely Inspired Organic Protein. So I like that it does have organic in the title. This protein powder is going to cost you $20. It has 22 grams of protein in 2 scoops, and 2 scoops is 2 Smart Points. It is dairy and soy free. It is also vegan. It is plant-based, and it contains no sugar alcohols, which I love. But unfortunately, in the ingredient list, we see natural flavors, but we also see rice syrup solids. So I didn't really know what rice syrup solids was, so I looked it up. I'm gonna go ahead and insert the definition of rice syrup solid, but basically it's a sugar that's going to affect your blood sugar levels. So it's just not something that ideally we wanna see in a protein powder, and that's what dropped this one down under all of the other ones that also contained natural flavors. Number 11 is another extremely popular protein powder. In fact, I have 2 of the flavors here at my house, and that is the Tone It Up Organic Protein Powder. I took a look at the one in chocolate. That protein powder is about $32. It will deliver 15 grams of protein, and 1 scoop is 1 Smart Point. It is a vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, plant-based, and has no added sugars. The bad thing is it also contains natural flavors. Once again, we see natural flavors. I don't know why companies, especially if they're making a vanilla-based protein powder, don't just use vanilla extract, or a chocolate-based protein powder, don't just use cocoa or cacao powder to make their chocolate base. Listen up, protein companies, these would be much better if they didn't contain natural flavors. So number 12 is similar to number 11, but this is the Tone It Up protein powders, non-organic. So these are actually the ones that I have. I have the coconut and one other flavor, I think vanilla, on hand at my house. So this one is a little less expensive. It's $27. It still delivers 15 grams of protein, and 1 scoop is still 1 Smart Point. It is plant-based, vegan, gluten-free, and non-GMO. The only difference is it is not organic. So that's where you're seeing about that $5 price difference between this one and the organic Tone It Up, is because of it being organic. So keep that in mind. The only thing, again, with this protein powder that I'm not a big fan of is the natural flavors. Now, once we start number 13, we're getting into the protein powders that have more not so desirable ingredients, unfortunately, and it's just gonna get worse, my friends, before it gets better. So number 13 is Plant Fusion in the chocolate flavor. This protein powder is $32. You're going to get 21 grams of protein in 1 scoop, and 1 scoop is 2 Smart Points. It is plant-based, gluten-free, non-GMO, vegan, and I do like that it is free from the 9 most common allergens. So that is a nice feature in this protein powder. Now, the issue with this protein powder is it has natural flavors, but it also contains stevia leaf extract. Now you're thinking, what's the big deal? You said stevia was good in your sugar video. Yes, I did. But there is a difference between stevia and stevia leaf extract. So stevia itself is extracted from the stevia leaf in its raw organic form. Now, stevia leaf extract is what is extracted from the stevia plant using heat and chemicals. So unfortunately, if you see stevia leaf extract, it makes it a little more questionable on whether or not that's a food item you would want to put in your body, because it is so heavily processed and chemicals are used to get the stevia leaf extract out of the stevia leaf. So sorry, number 13, that alone dropped you down. Number 14 was another protein powder I'd never seen before, and this is the MRM Egg White Protein Powder. Interesting, right? That it's just an egg white protein powder. So this protein powder is going to cost you $24. It delivers 23 grams of protein, and 1 scoop is 3 smart points. There are no artificial colors or flavors, which I love, and no dairy. But do I love it? Am I speaking too soon? Because when I look at the ingredient label, natural flavors, I thought they said there were no artificial or natural flavors. I'm on to you, MRM. And I also see stevia leaf extract. And on a side note, it's non-organic. And I think buying an organic protein is always better than buying a non-organic protein. So watch your ingredient labels. Don't be fooled by what's in print on your protein powder container. I see you, MRM. Number 15 is another protein powder that I've seen, but I wasn't that familiar with. And this is the Whey Designer Protein in Chocolate. Now that's a mouthful. So this protein powder is going to cost you $15, so very affordable. 20 grams of protein, and it is 2 smart points for a serving. There's no added sugar, no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or colors. It is gluten-free and kosher. But once again, when we get down to the ingredient label, I see natural flavors. They just told me there were no artificial flavors. And as we've talked about, natural flavors are artificial flavors. So again, really watch your ingredient label, not the marketing on the front of the container. This one also contains stevia leaf extract again, and is not organic. So this one is tied pretty much with the other one. We're just putting these in a consecutive numbered order from here on out. Number 16 is a common brand at a Kroger or a Fred Meyer, and this is the Simple Truth Whey in the flavor of vanilla. Now this protein powder is going to cost you $13, so very affordable. There's 18 grams of protein in 1 scoop, and 1 scoop is 1 smart point. But again, are there? Because when I look at the label, I find, again, natural flavors. And I also see that this is not organic. So those 3 are pretty equal as far as where they fall on the list, and good versus bad as far as protein powders go, because they all pretty much contain natural flavors and stevia leaf. But now that we're over halfway through, number 17 starts to get a little bit scary. Number 17 comes from the same one as number 16. And this is the Simple Truth brand again, but this is their plant-based vanilla. So you think plant-based, this has got to be better than just their regular vanilla protein. Not so fast, my friends. This is going to cost you $23. It delivers 20 grams of protein in 1 scoop, and 1 scoop is 1 smart point. It is gluten-free, soy-free, vegan, and non-GMO. But wait until you read the ingredient label. This protein powder has natural flavors, natural chai flavor, so 2 types of natural flavors, and it has sunflower oil. You never want to see an oil in any food like sunflower, canola, vegetable, unless it is expeller pressed. Same philosophy as the stevia leaf extract. When you see just regular sunflower oil, that means that it's been processed very heavily by high heat, which removes all of the good fat and turns it into more of a trans fat. And they process a lot of these oils with hexane. So you want to stay away from these unless it specifically says expeller pressed. This one does not. And lastly, it is not organic. Number 18 is a brand we've all seen, and we refer to this brand as a healthy brand. And this is the Bob's Red Mill Vanilla Nutritional Booster. So this is Bob's Red Mill version of a protein powder. It is going to cost you $25. It has 20 grams of protein, and 1/3 cup, which is a lot, is 4 smart points. It is gluten-free, and it contains omega-3s. But when you see the ingredients, I don't understand. I really don't understand. In Bob's Red Mill, the healthy name that we are all aware of, you're going to find ingredients such as natural flavors, natural flavored vanilla powder, whatever that is, and the weirdest ingredient of all is cornstarch. Why on earth is there cornstarch in protein powder? And cornstarch is heavily processed and made from GMO corn. So you never even want to eat cornstarch normally, more or less, in your protein powder. What happened, Bob? Number 19 is the Orgain organic protein powder in chocolate fudge. Now, Orgain is another brand of protein powder that we consider to be healthy. It's one that we see a lot in the stores, but unfortunately, it's not what it appears. So this protein powder is going to cost you $19, so it's pretty darn affordable. You get 21 grams of protein in 2 scoops, and 2 scoops is 3 Smart Points. It is plant-based and vegan. Great. But what about the ingredients? You are going to find ingredients such as natural flavor, organic natural flavors, and erythritol. But the problem with the erythritol is it's 5 grams of erythritol. That is a lot in 1 scoop of protein powder. The Built Bar, for comparison, that entire Built Bar has 2 grams of erythritol. So in 1 scoop of protein powder, you're getting 1.5 times that amount of erythritol. And erythritol can have an effect on your gut and your good gut bacteria. So I certainly don't want to see 5 grams in protein powder. Number 20 is a brand of vitamins that I've purchased myself. I actually really like their sleep vitamins. And this is the Olly or Olly, I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce this, but they make a plant-based protein powder. It is going to cost you $20. It has 18 grams of protein in 2 scoops, and 2 scoops is 3 Smart Points. It is plant-based, non-GMO, and gluten-free. But the problem, again, is we see natural flavors, but in addition to natural flavor, we see cane sugar. Cane sugar is white table sugar, the worst of the worst when it comes to sugars. Again, if you haven't seen my sugar video, highly recommend you watch it. It is very eye-opening. Again, it is linked down in the description box. So why couldn't they use a different sugar, like a coconut sugar, like some of our other top-notch protein brands? That would have made it much better. It would have put it way up on the list, because all it would have contained at that point is natural flavors. But cane sugar, no. Number 21 is a very well-known brand of protein bar. That is Pure Protein. So they also make a protein powder. So that makes sense. They make protein bars and protein powders. So this is their Pure Protein powder in French vanilla. Whew, another tongue twister. This is going to cost you $20. It will give you 23 grams of protein. 1 scoop is 3 Smart Points. It is low fat, and they say that there is no artificial flavors. But the ingredient label tells us that there are natural flavors, and on top of natural flavors, they are putting in fructose. And fructose is worse than cane sugar. Fructose is a very heavily processed liquid form of cane sugar. We talk about this in the sugar video as well. Definitely don't want to see fructose in anything, especially in a protein powder that you're paying a good amount of money for. And this protein powder is not organic as well. Number 22 is a protein powder that is sold online through a multi-level marketing, MLM, and that is the Shakeology protein powder. This is their vegan protein. It is going to cost you, are you ready for this? Are you sitting down? $130 for a bag of protein. It has 16 grams of protein, so not even high in protein, and 1 scoop is actually 4 Smart Points. It has a low GI impact, 4 to 6 grams of fiber, which is great. They have their proprietary superfruit blend, which actually has some really amazing superfruits in it. And it is their also proprietary vegan blend. But when we look at the ingredient label, my friends at Shakeology, we are finding not so good ingredients. I see cane sugar. Again, cane sugar. You're putting this in a product that promotes weight loss and working out. You're putting cane sugar in your protein powder. I also see natural flavors, and I also see stevia leaf extract. And you're paying $130 for protein powder that is not organic. Now, all of you Beachbody people, do not come for me. I am strictly saying what facts I found on your Shakeology website about your protein powder. I put it in the mix at a little bit under the halfway mark as far as worst and best protein powders. So in my opinion, I wouldn't pay $130 for a protein powder that falls as number 22 out of 32. Number 23 is another Shakeology product. This is their Shakeology Whey protein. So this is different than the other protein in number 22. This protein powder is also $130 for a bag. In that $130 bag, you're gonna get 17 grams of protein, so 1 more gram than the vegan, and 1 scoop is 3 smart points, so 1 point less than the vegan. So again, it has low GI impact, 4 to 6 grams of fiber, and their proprietary superfruit blend, which I actually, again, really like what's in that superfruit blend. But in this protein powder, you're also going to be finding, again, cane sugar, natural flavors, stevia leaf extract, and it's non-organic, and it's $130. So their 2 Shakeology products are very similar in ingredients. One's vegan and one isn't. But again, $130, I don't know, guys. Number 24 is a revisit to the Pure Protein brand of protein powder. This is their superfood blend in vanilla. This protein powder is going to cost $17, so it's pretty affordable. 20 grams of protein in 1 scoop, and it's 3 points. It is plant-based, non-GMO, and they state that there are no artificial flavors or colors. So when we flip it over and we look at that ingredient label, we find natural flavor, which is an artificial flavor. So again, incorrect information on the packaging. Cane sugar, stevia leaf extract, and now it's getting worse. We have carrageenan, and I talk about carrageenan in my ingredients video that went up recently. Carrageenan is a major inflammatory and should be absolutely avoided. I avoided it out of my diet when I made this transition, and you guys, the difference is astronomical as far as joint recovery and not feeling sore and bloated and just inflamed. I can't believe the difference of cutting carrageenan out. I don't eat it at all. It is made from algae, and actually physicians use this to inflame patients for medical procedures. So not good. I don't ever want to see carrageenan, and the fact that it's in a protein powder with natural flavors, stevia leaf extract, all the other terrible ingredients, I definitely stay away from that one. Number 25 is our beloved WW protein powder. My friends, this falls at number 25 out of 32. Now the WW protein powder is going to cost you $17. It delivers 25 grams of protein, and 1 scoop is costing 2 smart points. It is gluten-free and vegetarian, but you guys, the ingredients, once again, are natural flavors. We also have stevia leaf extract, and we once again have carrageenan. Oh my gosh, why? Why do we have carrageenan? I know it's an emulsifier, but come on, there are other options out there. If we're paying a lot of money for protein powder, it shouldn't have carrageenan in it. And the Weight Watchers or WW protein powder isn't organic either. Now, number 26 broke my heart a little bit. Devotion. You guys, my beloved Devotion protein powder falls at number 26 on the list. 26 out of 32. Now Devotion, the price point on that is $40. It delivers 20 grams of protein, and 1 scoop is anywhere from 1 to 2 smart points, just depending on the flavor. It is gluten-free. It does have 2 grams of MCT oil, which I love about that. It also has no added sugar, and it doesn't spike your aminos. So those are great things about Devotion. But then if you flip it over and you look at the ingredient label, it contains natural flavor, which again, all of the flavored protein powders that we've covered pretty much contain natural flavor. It also contains sucralose, which is another not good sugar. Sucralose is basically Splenda, and it's one of the worst sugar options or sugar alternatives that you can choose. And they put that in there because sucralose tastes a lot like regular sugar, and that's why Devotion doesn't have any weird or bizarre aftertaste. But sucralose really spikes your blood sugar and should be avoided unless it's in very small doses, and only if you absolutely have to consume it. There's also carrageenan in Devotion. Why Devotion? Why? And it is not organic. So as much as I love Devotion protein powder, I still have brownie batter in my pantry. It's not a protein powder that I will most likely continue using once the stash that I have is gone. I'm sorry to say, Devotion, you know I love you. Number 27 is another protein powder. Was in my pantry. I actually just threw this out because for one, I didn't really care for it, and for two, it's number 27 on the list. And that is the Ghost Protein in the fruity cereal flavor. Sounds delicious, right? it's going to cost you about $40, so it's pretty pricey. It delivers 25 grams of protein. One scoop is 2 smart points. Now, the issues that I have with the Ghost protein powder is that it contains natural flavor, and it also, once again, like Devotion, contains sucralose, and it's not organic. So at the $40 price point, it just doesn't make sense when there's less expensive protein powders out there that deliver much better ingredients at a much better price point. Number 28 is another brand that we all love, and that is Quest. Quest protein powder. I know it's extremely popular. I see it all over social media, but you guys, it falls almost to the worst of the worst when it comes to protein powder. I reviewed the Quest Vanilla. It is going to cost you $30. It contains 24 grams of protein, and 1 scoop is a measly 1 smart point. The issue with Quest Vanilla is it has 4 ingredients that are not desirable. Natural flavor. Again, it uses sucralose, which is the Splenda not so good sugar alternative, and they also use stevia glycosides. So basically what that is once again, it is from the stevia plant, but it is processed down. So it's less expensive for them to use it, and it's about 300 times sweeter than white table sugar. So not only are they using sucralose, they're also using stevia glycosides, which is a heavily processed version of stevia. And in addition to that, there's carrageenan. So 4 ingredients, all of which I would stay away from. And unfortunately, that's what makes Quest protein powder one of the worst options as far as ingredients go for protein powders. Now, number 29 was very interesting. So this is 3 from the bottom. Number 29 is from another MLM or company out there called Arbonne. And when I first looked this up, I knew that they were a plant-based protein powder. So I kind of expected their ingredients to be pretty darn good. No. No. So Arbonne is going to cost you $77. It has 20 grams of protein, and it is 4 smart points for 1 scoop. It is non-GMO, vegan, and contains 24 minerals. Great. And then you take a look at the ingredient label of a $70 protein powder. You are going to find cane sugar. So once again, raw white table sugar, natural flavors, of course. You're also going to find stevia leaf extract, and worst of the worst, sunflower oil. It is not expeller pressed sunflower oil. It is heavily processed GMO sunflower oil. And again, why Arbonne? If you're going to charge a premium price for a product, it should contain premium ingredients. It most certainly shouldn't fall 3 from the bottom of the worst as far as ingredients go of protein powders. Number 30 is another protein powder we're all going to be very familiar with, at least visually, and it is found at Costco. It is Optimum Nutrition Gold, and it comes in that white or that red, black, and gold bag. It is going to cost you $58, but it's a huge bag. 24 grams of protein, 1 scoop is 1 smart point. Oh my gosh, you guys, the ingredients on this protein powder, these last 3, I was literally floored when I read the ingredient labels. It has natural and artificial flavors, so basically all artificial flavors. Sunflower oil, once again, it contains sunflower oil, which is not expeller pressed, so it's made from GMO corn, and it also has maltodextrin. Now, maltodextrin is a very, very cheap byproduct of corn that they put into products. So maltodextrin is produced from vegetable starch. So GMO vegetable starch. It has an extremely high impact on your blood sugar level. So it's really one of the things that should be avoided. It can also cause stomach upset as well. And in addition to maltodextrin, there is also sucralose. So it has 4 not good ingredients. It's not an organic protein powder. It is pretty pricey. Granted, you get a pretty large bag, but oh my gosh, you guys, those ingredients, no. Number 31 is a protein powder that I've seen but wasn't that familiar with, and now I know why. That is the MP protein powder from a company called MusclePharm, like pharmacy. This protein powder is expensive. It's $47. It contains 25 grams of protein, and 1 scoop is 2 smart points. It is gluten-free. That's the one thing that it has going for it, because the ingredients are super scary. That's what makes this almost the worst protein powder as far as ingredients go. First, there is rice flour. Rice flour is basically white flour, should be avoided. It is heavily processed, oftentimes processed with bleach. On top of rice flour, it also contains sugar, traditional white table sugar. Also, it has other starches, tapioca starch and cornstarch. Once again, it contains cornstarch. Why? Also, natural and artificial flavors, and we're still going, my friends. It contains palm oil. Palm oil is the worst, most heavily processed oil with hexane that you can possibly buy. The only palm oil you should ever eat is red palm oil. It's very expensive. It's very hard to find. It's very rarely in foods unless they're a premium, expensive food. So by them putting palm oil in here, you're getting trans fat that you didn't even know that you were getting in a protein powder that's supposed to be healthy. And number 32, the worst that I found as far as ingredients goes, the worst, was from a brand called Naturade. I believe it's Naturade Pea Protein. You guys, oh my. Okay, so this protein powder is going to cost you $20. It delivers 20 grams of protein and it is 2 smart points. On the label, it claims that it is a vegan, 100% free of soy, dairy, it is gluten-free and doesn't have any cholesterol. That all sounds pretty good, right? Then you read the ingredients, and it's a laundry list of ingredients, starting with maltodextrin. So once again, we're seeing maltodextrin in this protein powder. We also have natural and artificial flavoring, sunflower oil, xylitol, and erythritol. So we're putting in 2 sugar alternatives. Xylitol is deadly to dogs and should be consumed at very, very small amounts by humans. And we all know that erythritol can cause a huge spike in blood sugar as well as stomach upset. And they're putting both of these in this protein powder. There is also stevia leaf extract. And we're not done. There's still one more ingredient, and that is carrageenan. So we have a laundry list of ingredients in this protein powder. If you are going to avoid one protein powder on the market, it needs to be this one. There is nothing healthy about this. It is full of ingredients that are going to spike your blood sugar, cause stomach upset, and also ingredients that your body really doesn't even know how to process. And this is claiming to be a healthy protein powder. All right, so we went from the best to the worst when it comes to protein powder. My goodness gracious, you guys, isn't it crazy how companies can advertise no artificial flavors on the front of a container of protein powder, but in reality, it has artificial flavors in it. It's so crazy to me that the marketing companies of these brands can make it look so good and healthy from the outside, but the minute you turn it over and really take a hard look at the ingredient label, it's something that you don't want to eat. So I recommend that you stick with maybe the top 5 to 10 of the protein powders and stay away from at least the bottom 10 of the protein powder, but most definitely number 32. That one, holy moly, I could not believe that ingredient label when I turned that around. So I hope that this helps you guys out when it comes to protein powder. Again, I've been getting a ton of questions. I do also want to end this video on this note. This is my personal opinion based on the research that I did and by reading the ingredient labels of the protein powders that I'm finding at my local store, health food store, online, some of these multi-level marketing companies, and even at our WW workshops. So my opinion is based on the information that I found on the ingredient label, and that's where I ranked these protein powders. Of course, feel free to do your own research. It's highly recommended that you do your own research and make, of course, the decision on what products you want to consume that work best for you. This is just, once again, my personal opinion, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I've been getting bombarded with questions on protein powder. And in fact, I've been wondering, what the heck am I going to have for protein powder? I love protein shakes. I love throwing it in my smoothies and my smoothie bowls. So this was a really good educational video for myself as well. So I hope you enjoyed and you took away some valuable information. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'd love for you to stick around. Make sure you're subscribed and your bell notification is turned on so you don't miss a single video. I do a lot of these sit down, let's talk about ingredients and clean eating videos, so you definitely don't want to miss out on those. Also, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out tremendously, puts me out there for all the YouTubers to see. And lastly, of course, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. Let me know what maybe you learned today that you didn't know before this video. And if you made it all the way to the end, bless you. Go ahead and down in the comment section, leave the muscle emoji or type the word muscle if you don't have emojis on your desktop computer. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope this helped you, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys.